About that clip that surfaced last night?
That's private.
What, I mean, did you say what it seemed to indicate, or people believe you said?
No, the lip readers were wrong. What I said was, I beg to differ with Draymond's approach tonight. Those were my exact words. I don't know how somebody misconstrued that. Kevin is okay, day to day, is what Rick is telling me. So he's in the training room right now, getting some work done. So day to day.
You expect him at all to play Wednesday?
Day to day.
How's the collective mood of the team?
Frustrated. Frustrated with our play, with our ourselves, just our approach. So we all feel it.
Is it especially frustrating that game followed a really good game?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I think the Denver game was a better indicator of what we're capable of, and then to so quickly get off track. One game later, that's very frustrating, and that's something we've got to correct. We've got to build some momentum. We've got to build better habits. We've got to stay connected emotionally, and it's the only way it can work.
You don't want to get in private conversations with Draymond in a good frame of mind?
Again, that's private.
Just from your standpoint, was that just garden variety frustration, Steve?
I mean, it's 2019. It's George Orwell was right. He just had the year wrong. He wrote 1984. I think the title should have been like 2012 or so. It's modern life. Everything's recorded. Everything is filmed. I've decided I'm now going to get a giant laminated board with all of my play calls, and I'm going to turn into an NFL coach from here on out.
Well, you made that point on the radio the other day that it's hard for the players because of all this stuff.
Yeah, it's a different world. It's a different world. So you just you got to figure out how to survive and thrive in the modern way of life. And one way of doing it is not really concerning yourself with stuff that doesn't matter.
I know last year the issue with kind of complacency and injuries and on-court stuff. Has there been more off-court maintenance this season than before?
I think this year actually reminds me a lot of last year. I think it's similar. I think, and if you look historically at any team trying to win, multiple titles in a row, get to the finals year after year, there's a different vibe, and as you go, the journey gets harder, and there's more adversity, and we saw it at the end of last year quite a bit. We were able to pull things together and win the title. We're seeing plenty of adversity this year, and I tell the players every year, there's a reason you pour champagne on each other when it's all said and done, because it is hard. It is a difficult thing that we're trying to accomplish, and it just it gets more difficult as you go, just based on circumstances. So we've got our work cut out for us, but we're still confident because of our track record, because of the banners that we've hung. We're very confident that we can do this again, but it's not easy.
And Steve, within that context, how do you look at this upcoming week's worth of games, given the opponent and back-to-back San Antonio?
Yeah, some really tough games, tough schedule. I kind of like getting out on the road right now. I think it's a good time for that, and we'll see how we do. It's not going to determine the fate of our season, but we need to connect better and put some momentum together game after game, and it'd be a good place to start.
You like being on the road just because of the quality time you guys have together?
Just the time together and camaraderie, and so I think it'll be a good chance for us to pull together.
Steve, what do you see as the obligations of the sports fans toward the team that they root for?
I'm sorry,
the obligations of sports fans toward the team that they root for. Do they have any? If so, what are those obligations?
I don't think there are any obligations, and and I'm trying to think of it as a fan. I'm a big sports fan. I have my teams that I cheer for. I don't feel obligated to cheer for. I can't mention the teams that I cheer for because they're not popular up here. But no, there's no obligation. People follow us. People are sports fans because they're interested in the team and the sport and the energy of it all. And it's on the team to make it interesting, to make it compelling. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that here. And we've been blessed to have amazing fans here in the Bay Area. And so it all ties together. Let's put a better effort out on the floor and give our fans something to cheer for, and that's how everybody gets invested.
Steve, do you have any issue with what Klay said?
I think I understood what he was talking about, but like I said, it's all tied together. When you play well, when you play with a great energy and a great pace and spirit, the fans are going to be naturally more excited. And on the flip side, the fans were probably more excited 5 years ago than they are now because the journey was fresh and new, and it's different now. So it's different for everybody. And so we've, I do know one thing, that we really thrive on the energy at Oracle, and I think the fans have helped us win at a high level, and we need them, but we got to give them more to cheer about for sure.
Steve, is it more difficult trying to win a third with a team that you'd like obviously to keep together as opposed to with the Bulls, where you kind of knew it was your last go around and you kind of all sell out and
Yeah, I think every team is a little different. Every team has a different set of circumstances. Even within the same organization, last year's team to this year's team, we got some different dynamics. Roster's different, circumstances are different, and so the challenges are there no matter what. The '98 Bulls, we had a lot of adversity, a lot of ups and downs. If you ask me, we hung on for dear life to beat Utah in the finals that year. Scottie Pippen's riding a bike during the Game 6 in the hallway at the Delta Center because his back's seized up, and we're down 17 or whatever in the second quarter, and we were gasping for air, and so that did not come easy. And I go back to that line, it's the reason you pour the champagne on each other. It's, man, is it difficult, and it takes a tremendous amount of energy, physically and emotionally, to stay connected, to put forth the effort and the energy that it takes to achieve your goal, and it just gets harder each year.
Because it was so difficult, did it make winning even more satisfying?
Yeah. It's when you go through the difficulty, it makes things that much sweeter at the end, and so it's not just the idea of getting a ring, hanging a banner. It's the memory of all that went into it. You put a lot of effort in to achieve that, and it's a lot more than what a ring or a banner signifies. It's what you had to endure, what you had to put forth, what you had to sacrifice, what you had to give of yourself and submit of yourself to the team. All those things come into play, and when you're able to do it, that's why it is incredibly gratifying, but it's also why it's incredibly rare, because it's a hard thing to do.
Katie was kind of caught in an unguarded moment.
Who was?
Katie in the tunnel saying, basically announcing he's tired of not playing championship basketball consistently. Is that kind of your sentiment? Like, you need to play a little bit more consistently, more engaged? To get to that?
Yeah, I think we all of our players and coaches know we've got to be more consistent. But again, modern life, if you don't think those words have been uttered by every team in the history of basketball, you're mistaken. It's just that everything's on camera and lip read, even when it's the wrong interpretation.
What are you seeing with Steph? I mean, I think his numbers have been down for about a month now.
I think when the group is affected, everybody's affected. When the group is disconnected a little bit, it takes away our team's energy, and when our team's energy is lagging, I think that affects Steph for sure. He's a guy who thrives on tempo and feel and pace, and things have just felt different lately. So I think as we do a better job connecting, I think you'll see Steph's play improve as well. That's probably a blanket statement over it, and he's Steph Curry. I mean, he's gonna have some huge games no matter what happens. He's in a little bit of a rut right now, but it happens to everybody.
Steve, what did you guys get today get what you need, and why did you think today was a good day for you?
I didn't think we were going to learn anything from watching tape or practicing. So that's it's my job to assess that.
He's tired at all, Steph?
What's that?
You think Steph is tired at all?
I don't think so. I don't think he's tired. I think he's fine. I just think we haven't played well. We haven't had the right mix, the right energy. So I think that affects everybody, and maybe it's affecting Steph a little bit right now. But again, every player ever to play has little ruts where things don't go their way, and then the great players like Steph find a way to bounce back, and you forget about it a few days later.
The energy on last night, at the beginning of the game, was like the energy against Denver on Friday.
Yeah.
Was there a moment? Can you pinpoint when it turned? I mean, where it went wrong?
That's what made last night feel a little different. We did have a good game going, and then things went south. I think we need to stop looking at the officials. We're complaining too much to the referees, and we're expending too much energy arguing with the refs instead of just playing. And I don't think that helped last night. So we're putting energy where it shouldn't be. We need to put it where it needs to be.
You mentioned last night that in terms of your rotation, especially at the beginning of the second and fourth quarters, that maybe you do some adjustments there. That's something that you still consider?
Yeah. And when I say adjustments, it doesn't necessarily mean a lineup change. It could mean a strategic change. So that's all stuff that we're going to look at and try to figure out.
How important is Steph's voice as a leader in that locker room right now? He had some pretty insightful things to say last night, and just him unifying this group right now.
Everybody's important. Every player has a leadership stake in the team. So I'm not going to tell you that Steph's voice is more important than anybody else's. Everybody matters. Everybody needs to take ownership, and including me, including the staff. So that's what we do. And I'm confident in our ability to do so because we've already proven that we can do it. We did it last year. We did it the year before. So that's our job.
Here's the thing about the refs. Have you talked to the players about that?
Excuse me?
Have you talked to the players about the thing about the refs?
Again, it's all internal, private stuff.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.